Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Anime Brain Freeze. We are your hosts playing spy games and always bringing knives to a chainsaw fight.
I am John.
And I'm CC. And when there's just too much cool anime to watch, we've got you covered. Today I will kick things off with a review of the much-anticipated anime adaptation of the hit manga Chainsaw Man, and will accompany the squad from Public Safety Bureau Tokyo Special Division 4, by God, that's a long-ass title, as they do some much-needed devil hunting. And after that, John and I will return to some family therapy in Ostania to see if the Forgers have made any progress in completing their super-secret mission in Spy Family. So grab your Bondman action figures and your flamethrowers. Why flamethrowers? Because let's be honest, it's the objectively best way to ward off an assassin with a chainsaw. And definitely don't pause the pod. We'll be right back. The young man Denji is robbed of a normal teenage life, left with nothing but his deadbeat father's overwhelming debt. His only companion is his pet, the chainsaw devil Pochita, with whom he slays other devils for money that inevitably ends up in the Yakuza's pockets. All Denji can do is dream of a good, simple life, one with delicious food and a beautiful girlfriend by his side. But an act of greedy betrayal by the Yakuza leads to Denji's brutal, untimely death, crushing all hope of him ever achieving happiness. Remarkably though, an old contract allows Pochita to merge with the deceased Denji and bestow devil powers on him, changing him into a hybrid able to transform his body parts into chainsaws. Because Denji's new abilities pose a significant risk to society, the Public Safety Bureau's elite devil hunter, Makima, takes him in, letting him live as long as he obeys her command. Guided by the promise of a content life alongside an attractive woman, Denji devotes everything and fights with all his might to make his naive dreams a reality. Chainsaw Man is based on a manga by Tatsuki Fujimoto, which started in 2018, currently counts 13 volumes and is still running. The anime adaptation is produced by MAPPA, the current powerhouse in terms of action anime. You know the drill. Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan final seasons. Plural.
Yeah. Oh, do you mean Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1, final edition?
Yes. I mean exactly that, Sean. Let's see how many more seasons go by before we can finally put a bookmark on that, like finish that. Let's see.
I just want to say that a year ago, I want this on record, that when I joked about the final part of the final season getting broken up into 2 parts, maybe more at this point, that I was, for legal reasons, that was a joke. Why?
Somebody listened. Somebody at MAPPA was like, man, that guy over at Anime Brain Freeze has a good idea. Let's pat this out further.
Why did you make my memes real? Don't do it.
That's the timeline we're living in, John. But yeah, anyway, they also also currently doing Villain Saga Season 2. They're soon going to do One Punch Man Season 3, and they got a bunch of other stuff they have worked on, and they probably will work on, considering their current portfolio. And it's all been pretty damn good. So, yeah.
It has been, but I think I've said this before. I think they're spreading themselves way too thin.
Absolutely. It's like they're working on way too much stuff in a row, and it feels like the animators are eventually gonna kill themselves. And I mean, it's good to have work, I guess. It's good to be a busy studio, to get high profile work, and all the shows that they recently worked on are like some of the biggest hitters in their respective seasons. But, I imagine it's really, really taxing to deliver that high output at that high quality constantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's kind of like only tangentially related, because we always go on tangents about video games. Like the announcement the other day that Call of Duty would be going to the Nintendo Switch with content parity to other platforms. I'm sure any porting house out there that read that press release was like, not us, not us, not us, not us, not us.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. I mean, you're just going to do a streaming version anyway, right? There's no way the current Call of Duty titles can run natively on the Switch. That's ridiculous.
Sure they can when they announce new hardware.
Yeah, in 2050, whatever, Nintendo's gonna write that thing into the ground until they can't sell it anymore.
Like, let's ask ourselves: has any cloud gaming experience outside of Japan, let's add that qualifier, been good on the Nintendo Switch? If your answer is yes, I'm happy for you. Yeah. But it's probably not.
I won't even try it.
Anyway.
Yes. Let's return to the other thing filled with death and despair. But yeah, considering all the crazy violent action going on in this story, Chainsaw Man couldn't have been put in better hands. But even for MAPPA's currently very high bar, the animation in this show is something else. It looks so ridiculously good. There are some caveats, because when our main character Denji is in full Chainsaw Devil form, his model is CG, which of course doesn't look great in my opinion. You might see it different. But it's serviceable and doesn't stick out as sorely as it could most of the time. But in episode 4, for example, Denji doesn't use his full Chainsaw Man form. It's all traditionally animated and it looks amazing. But not only the action scenes, simple things like basic walking routines, hand movements, and facial gestures are lavishly animated as well. And that counts for a lot of the episodes in the show. And because I want to make an effort to also mention the positives of using CG in a show, the CG environmental shots they employ to show some gripping first-person stuff, or while camera swerves and tracking shots that cover up the more, stiff character model that is in CG, is great. Like, it's simply insane what MAPPA delivered here on a TV show budget. It is without a doubt the best-looking show from last season, in my opinion, and that's saying a lot, with heavy hitters like Mob Psycho 100, Spy Family, and Witch from Mercury being the other contenders, maybe. And yeah, the show is directed by Ryu Nakayama, which is also kind of insane, since apparently this is the guy's first headlining director gig. He has mostly done key animation as well as episode and animation direction on stuff like Yomamushi Pedal, One Punch Man, Macross Delta, Jujutsu Kaisen, Fate Grand Order, Space Dandy, and a lot of other stuff. But yeah, this seems to be the first time for him coordinating the whole damn shebang. And considering how this season turned out, that's quite a debut. Of course, we have a boatload of talented episode directors, sometimes 2 for the same episode, actually.
Wow. Animation
directors, storyboard artists, and key animators on this as well. Just looking at the list of people involved, this had a lot of capable hands involved, and it shows. Speaking of capable hands, Hiroshi Seko is adapting the manga script and doing the series composition, so of course the writing is top-notch in this. And if he stays on board, I'm certain that this adaptation will be faithful in all the right ways. The music is also great. It's done by Kensuke Uchio, who also worked on the soundtrack for Space Dandy, Devilman Crybaby. Well, isn't that appropriate? And Ping Pong, the animation. The OP Kickback by Kenshi Yonezu is also great and has a lot of nice movie references in it. The EDs are also great. Yes, you heard right. EDs, plural. Because
I forgot it had 1 per episode.
Yes, the Mad Lads at MAPPA gave every episode in this season its own ending animation and song. They're all very different, and a lot of them are absolute bangers. My favorite is probably Violence from episode 11 by Queen Bee. Awesome stuff.
Queen Bee, yo.
Yeah. And worth to watch as a marathon video, which MAPPA was so kind to put on their own YouTube channel. So I will link that in the show notes, in the episode description. So please check it out, everyone. So yeah, the production values are insane. But what about the story and characters? Well, insane is pretty appropriate here too. Like, first of all, we got our main character. I described what he is mostly about already in the show summary, headlining this review. Like, Denji works as a devil hunter for the Yakuza because, he got a bunch of debt left behind by his father when his father died. And what he does is hunt devils, because those exist in this universe. And for that, he uses his little pal Pochita, which is like this cute little dog with a chainsaw sticking out of his face. And Denji just uses him like a chainsaw and kills the devils. And there are a bunch of devils with different powers in this world. The first episode has a zombie devil, even a tomato devil, for some reason. Yes, it's a giant tomato. I don't know what it does, but Denji kills it, and that's it. That's it. Anyway, and yeah, like I said, Denji has Pochita, which is a cute little thing, and I would heart that plush very much, but, there might be more to him as well than meets the eye. And yeah, this story is set in a world where devils, or Akuma, are born from human fears. There are the individuals called devil hunters that specialize in hunting and employing them, also using devils or devil hybrids, whatever, to hunt other devils. And the events of this show take place in 1997. And it's like this weird alternate timeline where certain historic events might have happened, have not happened, and have been changed due to some devil's interference and due to some devils being killed who embody that specific fear and that specific bad thing that in our world might have caused a certain event like a certain sickness devil or a certain, maybe a nuclear devil happened, right? But because he was killed for one reason or another, nuclear weapons stopped to exist. So this, or didn't come into existence. So, these kind of things can happen and have happened in this world. So history took a bit of an alternate timeline due to devils existing and also devils being killed by the devil hunters. Humans can make contracts with devils via a sacrifice, allowing them to use the devil's powers. Those sacrifices can vary. They can be pretty big. They can be pretty simple. It all depends on how much power they gain from the devil. And I'll get into that later because we have a bunch of different characters. Like we have one character that has only basically to give the devil a bit of their skin, which can grow back, of course, right? But that is enough to use the devil, but also not the full power of the devil. So yeah, that can happen. Devils can also become fiends by possessing a human's dead body. We also got one of those, at least one very prominent feature in our main cast. But yeah, it's not really clear from the start of this show how the devils came to exist. Like, their origin is still kind of a mystery, and I don't know if the manga has gotten into that yet, but the show definitely hasn't, because it just, started up, really. They only get the very basic stuff out of the way in the first season. But yeah, like I said, Denji, main character, saved the little devil Pochita's life. Pochita can't really talk, at least doesn't seem like it, maybe in Denji's dreams, but not in the real world. It seems he is just barking there. Denji made a contract with him after he saved Pochita's life, and Pochita lent him his power. And when the Yakuza literally step Denji in the back and kill him, Pochita becomes Denji's heart, and Denji is now able to transform into the titular Chainsaw Man. And then he gets recruited, by the professional devil hunters and becomes part of a team. And a good part of the team is the senpai, I guess, which in this case is Aki, who's like this guy who uses a sword, and the fox devil. He's technically a third year if you want to go by anime high school terms, which why not? Everyone knows that at this point what that means. Like, he immediately is dishing out some tough love to Denji because he thinks he got into the devil hunting business for the wrong reasons. But he miscalculates and gets kicked in the balls by Denji several times in a row. It actually becomes a bit of a theme in this season. Like kicking the bad guy in the family jewels until he can't scream anymore. The true essence of easy revenge.
God.
It's great. But yeah, because Denji's fighting style is nuts or nothing, that's how it goes here. And over time, after, in the beginning, Aki and him have a bit of friction, but over time they learn to tolerate each other, even become roommates. And a big thing about Aki is that his family was killed by a devil, and that's why he's in this, right? That's why he joined the devil hunters, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. And that's his motivation, which is a bit more, I wouldn't say more straightforward than Denji's stuff, but Denji's thing is very like, I just want to have a good life, and Aki is like very driven. he has a very clear goal in mind, and he's like, I'm only in this because I want to take revenge from my family and kill that certain devil. And he has made a contract with the fox demon Khan, who regularly consumes parts of his body. That's what I was about to say. It's not really clear if it will eventually, or at the beginning of the show it isn't, will it someday completely consume him? Or will it just use only the skin that will grow back again, and will he just become a very scarred human being? I don't know. But like I said, it seems that might depend on how much power Aki wants to use, how much of the devil power. But also devils have their own minds and don't just do everything if they are given a treat. Because of that, Aki at some point can't use the fox devil anymore because it's scared, or, it doesn't think it's worth the effort. And the sword that is part of, that he also uses to fight, and that is part of the curse devil, can only be used for 2 more years. Doesn't really, also, the show doesn't say what that means, if he will die after, if he uses it for more than 2 years, or if the sword will then lose the power, use its power or whatever. So he has to form a contract with another devil, the future devil, who 2 people in the organization already have a contract with, so that he can look into the future slightly, which gives him an edge in combat, of course. And, just to showcase that everything can, the sacrifices can be different things, one of the people that are already in contract with the future devil gave up half of his lifespan, the other his eyes and sense of taste and smell. Devil contracts can come with a steep price. But the higher the price, also the bigger the power, and so on and so on. So you have to evaluate if it's worth it, what you're giving. And the future devil is fun. We haven't seen so much of that much of him yet, but he's so enticed by witnessing Aki's awesome death, quote unquote, firsthand, that he's willing to form a contract with him and live in his right eye. And so that's where they are now. And Aki is a cool dude. He is a bit of an enigma for a while. I mean, we know his goals and everything, but he's kind of more introverted, more the silent type, while Denji is the complete opposite, and also another character we're going to get to soon. So it's fun that he lives with those 2 under one roof at some point. And it's always fun to see these characters interact. Aki is willing to look past his roommates' transgressions if they obey his commands, because, he thinks they can be useful with proper guidance and control, and he wants to fulfill that role. So it's neat. It's a neat dynamic. It's a neat tri-character thing where, all these characters with different abilities and different attitudes clash in a small environment and everything. So it's a lot of fun to witness. And like I mentioned before, when devils possess dead humans, that's what you call a fiend. And Denji's new partner, aside from Aki, is a fiend called Power. She is a battle-crazy maniac who is just out to kill things. She has blood powers, so she can form objects with her blood, like a giant hammer, for example, to smash devils. And she's a lot of fun. Power is like this crazy lady. You don't know what she's going to do next. She's just going on pure instinct, kind of. So that's a lot of fun. And she doesn't like humans or devils. She only likes cats. Especially her pet cat, Meowie. Appropriate name. Which was the first being she didn't kill and got fond of. And so she and Denji, have also get used to each other. There's a thing where she kind of tries to take advantage of Denji and so on. And that, of course, causes some friction. But eventually, they're moving in together with Aki. So Denji and Power kind of become these rowdy siblings. And Aki is the poor dad who has to keep them on a leash. And he definitely has his work cut out for him. It's ridiculous. Denji has... It's ridiculous to assume, to state that, but it actually is the case. Denji has better manners than Power when it comes to everything. Cleaning up after you, basic hygiene. Power is just doing whatever the fuck she wants. And, it's a lot of fun. But once they start working together and become really this brother-sister thing, after Denji realizes he doesn't really care about her as a romantic interest or whatever, it's really cool. And they're always so fun when they're on screen together. Like, they're the most fun part of the show. Like, I've seen people who I think complain about Power being annoying. I don't think so. I think she's a fucking riot. Like, especially her and Denji together. Like, when they stick their heads together, something dumb is gonna happen. Something really stupid, but also something incredibly funny. So it's always, they're the MVPs of this show. Like, they're so fun together. I love them. I love them to death. They're great. At some point, Power decides she wants to win the Nobel Prize. What Nobel Prize? I don't know. She just is like, I'm gonna win the Nobel Prize. Everyone looks at her, is like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yep, I'm gonna do that. It's like, okay.
All right.
Sure.
Good luck.
Go for it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Exactly. Yeah, she's great. They're both great. And like I said, Denji, he just wants to earn some money to live a normal life. Like, something he hasn't had before. He just always was in debt and everything. He has simple dreams, like he wants a decent breakfast. I can relate. And, just have good food, live an easy life, have a girlfriend, if possible. He feels kind of basic in the beginning, like a standard shonen protagonist, maybe, but also you feel like there's more to him than that, or there might be more to him down the road. And he's a bit of a weirdo. He's a bit of a horn dog at some point, at least in parts of the first season. Like, when he first meets Power, he says that she is, like, stupid for wanting to fight a devil to save her cat, and that he won't help her. But as soon as she says she'd let him fondle her breasts if he helped her on her mission, he's fully on board. Like, it's not even a split second of him, like, pondering this. He's just like, okay, I'm here.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
That sounds like a basic shonen thing, but not to spoil a lot. But actually, he gets to do that, and he realizes he doesn't feel anything. He's like, okay, I'm just touching her breast, but I don't feel anything for her, so it doesn't really matter to me. He's really disappointed by that. He's like, okay, I thought this would be the biggest deal, and I would be super excited, but also, I kind of feel like she's more of a friend character to me, and I'm not really that interested in her, so this doesn't have any emotional value to me right now. And so I guess that's not what I want. So I actually want a loving relationship or something. But I don't know what that looks like yet, and where to find it, but that's my next goal, right? Also, I want to have sex. Of course, that is the next step. But not with her, with someone he actually is interested in. So, yeah, that's fun. It's like we see him evolve from a very, very simple man to something maybe, you could call, I don't know, an evolved human being. From a caveman to a human being. And it's really fun to witness his journey and to see his plans evolve. At first he's a simple man with simple needs, that's fine. But, he pretty quickly figures out that it's apparently not the only thing that he wants. He just first needs to find out what actually means something to him. What is important to him? What are his dreams? Are they really that simple? He formulates them. He thinks they're simple because his dreams are something he hasn't had before, like a decent meal or, money or whatever. But once he has those things, he's like, I guess that's not it. I want more. So I was really interested. Like, at first he says, fuck you and your big dreams. If I don't know if it was I think it's a devil that talks about dreams or something at him, and it's like, you and your small dreams, blah blah blah, and I have bigger dreams that I am seeking. And then Denji says, fuck you and your big dreams. If I can beat your ass, that means that my small dreams are much better than your fancy, lofty, unattainable dreams. So get off your high horse. So it's also a fun take. It's like, hey, if you don't have the conviction that is necessary to make your big dreams come true, and I can do that with my little tiny simple ass dreams, then they're better than yours. So it's like, okay, that's an interesting view to take, and that's what makes Denji interesting. He's just a cool, kind of unusual character, even though you think you have him pegged at the beginning. It's like, oh, that's the character, basic shonen protag, but that's also very quickly, not, as we learn very quickly, not really who he is, or he might become something entirely different down the road. And they have already started in this first season to do some introspective stuff with him down the road. Very late, at the very end of the season, there is this scene where Denji wonders if he has lost his heart and emotions with it because he doesn't cry over some really bad shit happening in the second half of the series. And that's saying a lot, considering all the bad shit that already had happened before that. I mean, he dies in the first episode, and multiple times throughout the show, actually, because he's kind of immortal, since he has his devil powers as long as he gets to drink blood, to rejuvenate himself and to reconstruct his body. So yeah, but he gets to a point where he's like, I don't feel anything about this bad shit happening. So is there something wrong with me? Am I missing something? Or what is happening? So he is actually thinking about this stuff. He's not only at some point looking straight ahead and that's it. So, but yeah, speaking of, bad shit happening, I guess I haven't mentioned this until now, but this show is gory as hell. John, you got the right instinct.
I kind of got the vibe from that, but also the whole I'm going to transform into a literal half chainsaw humanoid thing was sort of like, I don't think I can, I don't know, no, bye, I'm out.
Yeah, you said it's a bit too body horror-y for you in the sneak peek.
Yeah.
And while I still consider Made in Abyss to be the more effective horror-toned show, Chainsaw Man sure isn't stingy with delivering gruesome imagery left and right, especially the devil powers and how they are applied can lead to some deeply gross and also emotionally disturbing stuff. So be warned, ye who dare to press play. That's all I'm saying.
I kind of noped a Doro Hetero for the same reason, so,
Yeah. I mean, what I saw of Doro Hetero was not as problematic, I feel like, but Chainsaw Man, especially when it comes to, like I said, the devil powers and how they are used and whatever, and what happens to certain people in this show and how it happens to them, it's just woof. It is, it's not for the faint of heart. But
sorry, I'm weak.
But there's also fun stuff. There's a lot of fun stuff in the show. Like I said, Denji and Power are great together. Their relationship with Aki is cool. There are a bunch of other fun, cool, unusual characters. There is a little mini arc where they all get trapped in this hotel, and suddenly it's just they're closed off from the outside world, and every time they go down the stairs, they end up at the top of the stairs again. Like this infinite, that picture where with the infinite set of stairs that just loops into itself, and that's what they're trapped in. I think it's called because it's the Infinity Devil that does that, whatever. But they're in this hotel, and Denji's like, we're not gonna figure this out right now. I'm just gonna go to bed. And he just lies in the hotel bed because the most comfy bed he's ever lied, and just sleeps while they're all trapped in this hellscape. And he's like, whatever. I need some sleep. He's amazing. So yeah.
Hey, sometimes you go to sleep and you wake up with fresh ideas.
Yeah, sure. If he doesn't have any, but yeah, it's.
I'm trying to give the character some
I mean, it's fun. It's just a fun aside. And of course, some sleep can do wonders for your health, and he has to fight, so whatever. It's good stuff. But it was just funny. Everyone is like super on edge, and he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna take a nap here. And I mentioned like the three most important characters, or I think most important. Well, there's one more. I'll get to her. But this whole section there in section 4, which this team forms, is pretty big. There are a bunch of characters that are on the side, and some of those we've only seen like in the last episode introduced. Some new fiends, some new devils, whatever. And we're probably going to learn more about them in the coming seasons. But, they're all part of kind of this section of the Public Bureau of whatever. And that's section 4, and they're kind of this experimental unit. Like, if they don't deliver results, they will get kicked to the curb. Literally, because Denji and Power are only allowed to live as long as they are hunting devils. Which is, what happens when there are no more devils around? If that day ever comes. So, that's also a question that will not be answered yet, I guess. But public safety agents like Denji and Power are not allowed to kill devils who are targets of civilian devil hunters. That's obstruction of business, which is also this interesting wrinkle with like, hey, there are also private companies who do this shit. And the government basically isn't allowed to interfere with those because money is involved, whatever. Also an interesting aside. And yeah, bunch of other cool characters. Another one we meet in the first season, Semino, who's like this cool girl with an eye patch. She has made a contract with the Ghost Devil. She can like use these super strong ghost hands to attack, choke, and do whatever to an enemy. She has a chip on her shoulder because before Aki, she already had 5 partners who all died on her. So yeah, that's tough on her. And she also wanted Aki to quit the job because she's like, hey, you're gonna get yourself killed and I like you, and even though I'm your senpai and whatever, or your partner, I don't want to see you do this. And they definitely have a thing. And Denji also has some really interesting interactions with Himeno later on, especially on a party. Like, she's one of the coolest characters in the show. And then we have Kobeni, who at first glance is really bad at her job. Like, she absolutely doesn't want to be there and is scared of everything, even going so far as attacking her own teammates to save her life.
God.
And when people inquire why she even is here in the first place, she says the only options were this, or she had to become a sex worker. Like, what the fuck? What was your life before this? Apparently your parents were like super shitty or whatever. But yeah, she's super not happy about her life choices. But also, of course, that's not everything that is to her. Everyone is like more than meets the eye in this show. And there's some crazy developments with her as well. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And later on, Denji and Power get a teacher, Kishibe, who will hunt, kill, and revive them as often as necessary until they can best him to make them more powerful. And those fucking goofs put on glasses to symbolize they putting their brains into beating him. I love them. I love them so much. Denji and Power are the best bickering siblings who have incredible team synergy when it counts. Just want to mention that. It's not like they're not going at this willy-nilly. Like, they're actually trying to put some thought into it. It doesn't work out immediately, but they're definitely, trying to think this through and everything. And it's so fun. And they're entertaining as hell when they're bouncing off each other. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, later we get teased some more characters, like the Shark Fiend, who can do shark things. The Spider Devil that does spider things. The Violence Fiend, who is so powerful that he has to be constantly gassed with poison to control him. And the Angel Devil, who can rob you of your life force just by touching you. So these are going to be interesting. But the big question mark among all these characters is the woman that recruits Denji into the official government public bureau Devil Hunters. That is Makima. She's their supervisor in Section 4. And she seems very nice on the surface, like taking care of Denji, kind of like he's a cute puppy himself. That's how she treats him a bit. Like he is her Pochita, even feeding him. But, like I said, it's really like she's treating him more like a dog than anything else, really. And there's some real condescension in her really weird dead eyes. And, Denji, of course, doesn't care much because she is hot. And since he gets to enjoy good meals, a place to sleep, and a lot of other things, he has shifted his long-term goals at some point, or he's shifting his long-term goal to touching boobs and touching her boobs after he's like, okay, it didn't work out with Power because it's like, I'm feeling like anything here, but I feel like I'm in love with Makima and I'm gonna date that woman and whatever and touch her boobs and have sex with her. And yeah, so that's his current goal now. We'll see how that turns out. She's not like she's being tsundere about it or pushing him away. She's like, well, as long as you do what I say. And yeah, judging, it might just be her eyes, but judging from her, eye design, I think Makima is a devil too. I'm not sure. She definitely has devil powers, but I don't know if she is herself a devil. Might be the case. But she also might just have a contract. I'm not sure. But yeah, she promises to fulfill any wish Denji has if he's able to find and kill the Gun Devil, who is the big bad in the show that apparently is responsible for most of the horrible things happening in the world. Like, they directly state 9/11 as the cause of the Gun Devil's appearance and the rise of gun violence. Which, like, okay, really interested where that plot will be going. Yeah, we'll see. This is, but apparently in this universe, that's his influence on people is responsible for all that bad shit happening, or a lot of that bad shit happening, and 9/11 and gun violence being one of them. And the Gun Devil sometimes loses part of his flesh, and that flesh looks like bullets, of course. And if consumed by other devils, it makes them stronger. And if the gang manages to kill enough devils that have consumed Gun Devil flesh, they can accumulate so much of that flesh in one place that it will be drawn to the Gun Devil itself, and they can follow it to find him. And that's kind of what they are trying to do in this first season, and they're getting a lot closer at the end of the season. And that's probably what's going to happen next. And yeah, that's what Makima wants from Denji. And yeah, by the way, the devil that killed Aki's family was the Gun Devil, which is a really harrowing scene. But yeah, Power seems to be really afraid of Makima, and later events in the season makes it clear that it is the appropriate reaction because Makima is incredibly powerful. Like, at some point she tells the Yakuza boss that the Yakuza use phony justifications to do bad things, calling it necessary evil, and then she states that unless the government is pulling the strings, it can never be actual necessary evil. Like, she talked like a fat, walked like a fat, kill like a fat. And, yeah, it's, she got, I don't know. That woman has questionable motives, is all I'm saying. I wonder if she is even the one who pulls strings on a thing that happens later in the show to the public, to public devil hunters, to the public bureau, to the Section 4. It feels like she's playing the long game and is doing some puppeteering in the back. But I'm not sure. Nothing of that sort has been confirmed yet. So it's one of my shots in the dark. But yeah, also
your shots in the dark are usually not off. So
sometimes they are. It's like 50-50. Sometimes I'm super on the money. Sometimes I'm way off. But we'll see where it comes down to with this. And yeah, another hint that Makima might be a problematic person is like Kishibe, Denji's and Power's teacher, actually asks her what her goal is, and she says, I just want to protect all people from devils, and so on. And he just straight up calls her a fucking liar, and and her response to that is like the most sincere but ice cold smile. Like, it's such a nice smile, but it's that being the response to him calling her just a liar outright is so fucking eerie and upsetting and unsettling. And it's like, of course she's a liar. But the really interesting question is why? What's her actual motive? What is she in it for? It's obviously not to kill the gun devil. And if that is the reason, that might not be the only reason. And we don't know why she specifically wants the gun devil. It's not to help humanity. That I'm certain of. She has her own thing going on here. So let's see. I'm really interested. That's probably the character I'm most interested in this show. It's like to learn her deal. Where did she come from? I mean, what is she a devil or is she not? Like, if she's not, what is her motivation? What's she trying to do? What's her connection to the gun devil? Why is she so interested in using Denji and so on? So yeah, I'm really interested to see where she is going as a character. It's really cool. And yeah, we learned that the Gun Devil is after Denji's heart, apparently. So Pochita is probably a very special devil. Maybe the only one that can kill the Gun Devil. So, a lot of focus gets put on Denji at some point once the characters learn that is the case. And that's why, certain assassins are sent after Denji and whatever. And they're trying to abduct him or collect him and stuff like that. So, yeah. And yeah, at the end of the season, like I said, they collect enough Gun Devil meat to track the Gun Devil down. So that's probably what's going to happen in season 2, whenever that is hitting. I don't know if that has been yet confirmed yet. But yeah, I think that's what's going to come next. A big scale attack on the Gun Devil's location, wherever that is. So far, The story is pretty straightforward with some nice character bits here and there, but I've heard that the plot makes some wild swerves later on. And apparently the stuff that made the Chainsaw manga become such a hype machine only happens around volume 5, which the anime just arrived at story-wise with the end of its first season. So things are probably gonna get even more crazy pretty soon, and probably in its second season. I assume there's a big blow-up thing gonna happen there, where it's like everyone is just gonna lose their goddamn minds when they're watching it. So, yeah, that's what I'm definitely looking forward to. Because so far, you know, it's fine, but some parts are pretty standard. It's like, yeah, this is a shonen horror action thing. It's really good. It looks fucking fantastic. But, you know, a lot of the stuff we have seen before. But apparently, at this point, watching Chainsaw Man, you don't know yet what Chainsaw Man actually is. So I'm looking forward to finding out probably in its second season. So far, yeah, the anime mostly shines through its presentation and its entertaining characters, but I'm very intrigued to see where the actual story goes from this point forward. If you are interested, you can watch the show on Crunchyroll, or maybe Netflix or Amazon and some other services, depending on your location. But I think Crunchyroll in the US. And yeah, I recommend you doing that. It was the big anticipated blockbuster of fall season for a reason, and it delivered on most of its hype, in my opinion. The characters are fun, and it looks goddamn amazing. Like I said, the story is still in the process of getting to the interesting part, I assume. But there are already enough enticing plot seeds and character setups planted in this first season that I'm very convinced this will become even more of a gripping roller coaster ride in the future. So don't miss out and jump into the fray as soon as you can.
All right. So, we go from devils to spies, because Spy Family is back in a big way for its second half of its first season. I'm going to be real with you. This whole core thing has got me confused on how seasons get broken up in recent years.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. It's just on certain sites it only says TV1, TV2, TV3. And like, yeah, what? Is it a season now? Is it a 13 episode season, or is it a 26 episode season with 2 cores? I don't. Well,
yeah, it's like with Orphan that's airing now. They're calling it 2 cores, but they're airing them back to back. So it's like,
is a core maybe always like 12 episodes? And sometimes that also is a season if there's like not immediately a follow-up in the season after it or the season after that or in the same year, whatever. I don't know how they define that. Maybe the Blu-ray. if it's on one Blu-ray, if it's titled season 1 on Blu-ray, then that's how it is. I don't.
Now, you know that in Japan, shows never get released in a single Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
You have to buy it in 2 episodes at a time, and it's $60 per disc.
Man, I've been looking forward, small tangent here, but it's still anime related, not game related. Fucking Germany, right? My stupid ass country. They've been really bad with anime releases when it comes to actually giving you full seasons at a proper price tag. They don't give you full season releases, kinda, and still do volume shit, and then it goes to horrendous pricing. Like, this kinda pretty close to Japanese stuff. Not as ridiculous, but still. And what I've been looking forward to, because we have never gotten it until, for some fucking reason, is the Blu-ray release of Monster. The show hadn't even gotten a DVD release yet. And if you don't know anything about Monster, it's by the guy who also made 20th Century Boys. Is it Naoki Urasawa? I think so. Yes. So, and Monster is set in Germany. So it's like, hey, this is one of the only anime I would be looking forward to watching with a German dub, because it's set in Germany, so it makes kind of sense, because all the characters are gonna speak German, because they're, except for the main character who's a Japanese immigrant, Dr. Chanma, they're all, of course, most of them are Germans, so of course everyone would speak German there. So that makes sense to me. So finally we're getting a Blu-ray release, and it's 60 euros for 1 volume with 12 episodes.
Jesus.
And like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. And that show has like I don't know if it has only 24, but I don't think so. No, it has at least 30. I think it has 48 episodes or something. It's a long show.
Apparently 74
Yeah,
episodes?
right. I forgot how long it was. That's 6 or 7 Blu-rays with $60 or 60 euro tag. That's crazy.
Ugh.
Like, you can't do that nowadays. What the fuck, Germany?
That's some Aniplex.
Yeah, that's some
pricing,
Aniplex
dude.
bullshit. Right.
Like, I look at the pricing on the Sword Art Online movie, which I would actually like to own because I did like Ordinal Scale, or the not Fate Grand Order, Heaven's Feel movies, and those three, each one is $50. I'm not paying $50 for one movie. Go.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know what they're smoking. I mean, I can hope that this version finds itself onto a streaming service. I mean, Monster is on Netflix, but it has only an English and the Japanese dub, I think, or French dub here. But yeah, there just wasn't a German dub until now. That's the thing. So maybe it will put patched into the streaming release. I don't know. But that is kind of a bummer. Like, why did you just have to go so ham with the pricing here? It's ridiculous. It's not appropriate anymore. It's just like... Anyway, that's small tangents aside. Complaining about Blu-ray prices. Here we are. A thing we did watch on Blu-ray is Spy Family.
Or the lack of Blu-ray releases entirely. I want my Blu-ray release of The Idolmaster, guys. All right. Spy Family. So we kind of, I don't know if we really need to give much of an introduction. It's the same. It's pretty much the same production crew. I think one of the writers might have been a storyboarder before. But yes, the Forgers, spying, school, the Stella trying to do sneaky things. You're kind of caught up. Yeah. So kind of pick up where we left off, talking about how Anya wants a dog. Yeah. And that leads to shenanigans, because what doesn't lead to shenanigans in this show? And we get introduced to the Forger's new dog, Bond. And Bond is... what kind of breed is he? I mean, he's a big boy.
Yes, a very floofy, fluffy, cute. Not necessarily super brave, but
no.
But a very nice dog. I mean, Anya is so small and he's so big that she can kind of ride him into battle, I guess, which is neat. Which they do at some point, at least, when she's trying to find a bomb or whatever.
Okay, I guess he's apparently a Pyrenees mountain dog.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it seems right.
That checks out. As having a previously many years ago having a Great Pyrenees mix in this house, the fact that Bond is just a giant marshmallow checks out.
Yeah, they're cute. And it feels like the appropriate dog for someone like Anya.
Yeah, because I mean, here's the thing about dogs. You get the little dogs that have like Napoleonic complexes, and they're just mean, dude.
They can be, yeah, and very loud and aggressive and so on. Yeah, so.
And you get a big dog, and they just want to lay on your legs and share the chair with you, even though they're definitely not lap dogs, and get pets, and that's Bond. Bond is also kind of a special boy.
Yes.
Because, like Anya, he went through some experimentation. And this dog is a precog.
Yes, for some reason.
Yes. For some reason, Bond can see little bits into the future, and he's able to communicate that through Anya, through her mind reading.
Yes.
And it's
basically Anya can read the future now if she's next to Bond, although his visions are not necessarily super reliable. I mean, they can go a certain way.
I don't think it's that they're unreliable. It's just that sometimes they are lacking in context.
Yes, Anya misinterprets them on occasion.
Yes. So while I don't think it's even certain that Bond has all the information, but he can see these things, and Anya can read them and draw her own conclusions. And Remember that thing I said at the end of the last episode? What would Anya do? Well, 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 Anya would find her way into a hideout with a bomb and find out that Bond was also part of a group of dogs that was being trained to, I believe it was attack a foreign minister.
Yeah. Yeah, as bomb dogs, literally.
Yeah.
Like, get close to him and blow him up. Like, the truly despicable villains, like using dogs as living bombs. Like, that's dirt beneath my shoes, scumbag villains. I'm so happy when your fucks them up. I was so happy.
Yeah. They absolutely deserved.
Yeah, fuck them. I was so happy that Lloyd didn't shoot that one dog that attacked him.
Yeah,
that was really like, yeah, thank you, Lloyd. That was a really mean cliffhanger. It's like, oh no. See, I mean, the dog is attacking him, but still, is he gonna shoot it? No, he did this. So it's fine. It's fine. Like, and Yor kicks a car, of course. It's whatever. It's one of those things. I don't know if I've said it here. There's no bad dogs, just bad owners. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Bond has his introduction to the Forger family, and he's a very, very good boy.
Yeah, Anya puts on her game face and blackmails everyone in letting her keep Bond, which is, that's what she would do.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like, again,
getting a will. Yeah, sure, it works, and it's a good addition. Like, he needs to be in there. He's also a good addition to the OP. The new OP is very pretty, and it's nice to have him in there.
Yeah, I kind of like the new opening sequence better than the old one.
Yes, same.
But yeah, that's like the first big plot beat that we come across, and after that we get a few like shorter episodes that break stuff up with side things like
like one story for half an episode, and then we get another one. That's how it kind of works.
Yeah. Kind of like we have Yor learning how to cook because she can't.
Yeah. I mean,
oh no, but her brother just eats it all up because Yuri is a special breed.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Like him eating up, barfing, crying, but saying it's so delicious. It was a special childhood he went through.
Yeah. What else we got? We have
get some episodes like showcasing a bit more of the handler, Sylvia Sherwood, like the Full Metal lady.
Yeah.
Apparently she had a daughter. I wonder if that will ever be brought up again. It's just mentioned on the side, I guess. But
I forgot that. Yeah, you're right.
That's what they do over this season multiple times. They like drop small hints about characters' past and stuff like that, where like your ears perk up and you're like, is this gonna become important later on? I'm not sure, because I don't know how important these characters will be to the story down the road. Or is this just flavor to these characters? This is just a bit more texture put in here so that you can feel more for them. And it's like, oh, interesting. I was like, okay, this is here. They do like this thing where Lloyd has to tell Anya that she has to take care of the dog until the end. And that makes Lloyd contemplate the fact that after the mission ends, he will have to abandon, his new family and everything. And it's also interesting that they advanced that kind of plot line, that he actually has to actually thinks about how he feels towards his family, or that his affection is growing, because he really, I don't know if I would call it distressed, but you feel like there's a growing dismay in him with the scenario that this is only a mission to him.
Yeah.
So that was kind of inevitable. I mean, that's what the series is like laboring towards. Just like, yeah, he's actually probably at the end of this story, they're going to be a real family, and maybe he'll just keep on doing spy stuff, but maybe also not, because this has become more important to him.
I mean, that would be neat to see, but, how would that play in with this character?
Yeah, exactly. So and that's what we want to see, right? I mean, we're here also for the sitcom shenanigans, but we also want to see how this trio of characters is actually growing to a real family. And they have already done that in many different ways. And it's not only what all these characters do, but also how they feel towards each other. And I feel like they gave us a bit more to chew on for this season, or at least put in some small bits here and there that advance that kind of thing.
Yeah, like they're definitely doing a little bit of breadcrumbing, and I got to imagine, considering there's a movie coming, there's another season coming, that
is it gonna be just a side story, or is it gonna be continuing the manga storyline? Do you know?
I don't remember if they actually said one way or the other, but I think I saw something about it being continuation. I'm not 100% on that though. Please don't trust what I said. Much like don't trust a spy.
Yay! Just in the theme. But yeah, you mentioned that Yor tries to get better at cooking, and her colleague Camilla actually gets talked into helping her, and that's also a thing they do in the season. Like involve some of the side characters. Like I said, we get the spy lady and stuff, and we learn more about Yuri and shit, of course. But also her, because I when we saw her in the first season, she felt like a giant bitch, but apparently she isn't.
Yeah.
She isn't. Like, she might be a bit icy, but she's beneath that is a kind of nice person.
Yeah, she's willing to help out Yor and learn how to cook a basic stew.
Yeah, with a very understanding husband, boyfriend. I don't know. It's just like, it's really cool, and it's her expertise is much needed, because Yor doesn't, like you said, she doesn't have a clue. Like, she can't get the ingredients right. Like, she buys chocolate and a cactus for a minestrone. She doesn't know what she's doing. So it's good that Camilla is willing to help after a bit of convincing is done. So yeah, I like that. And there's, of course, we see more of Frankie. Like, Lloyd helps Frankie with a date. Doesn't really pan out, but it's like, hey, these characters also do stuff with and for other characters, and are not only in their own little cosmos of Lloyd, Yor, Anya as a family. It's just like, no, they have actual lives outside of this, so that's good.
Yeah, I like there was a lot of side stuff, but I feel this season, I really feel like it helped contribute to the character development and the world building, as it were. Yeah, and
that extends to Anya's classmates too. Like, I mean, one of the focus characters is Damien, who's Desmond's the guy they want to convince to make peace with Westania. Westalia? I forgot. It's Ostania and Westalia, right? Westalis. Oh, there you go.
I think, please.
Yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, but yeah, they also, show a bit more about him. He seemed a very stuck-up brat in the first season. Aside from his two goons, he seemed a bit isolated, maybe, and didn't know how to handle Anya's direct approach to things.
Yeah.
But now we see, like, that he seems to put himself under a lot of pressure to impress his father, who also doesn't seem to care much about him. He has more of a relation to his butler, who is, of course, named Jeeves. What the fuck? But yeah, that's, it's nice to also see that there's more to his character. And they do a lot with that, I guess, towards the very final episode of the season, where you actually meet Desmond, who's one creepy motherfucker. Hitler-looking weirdo.
His dad is kind of a weird creep. He's
a cold fish. That's what he is.
He doesn't care about his son, man.
Not really,
It kind of hurt to watch.
And it's also it seems like Damien has a very also not brotherly relationship with his brother, who also seems to be very annoyed that he calls him, when he asks where his dad is and everything, and if he will come to his whatever.
I mean, at least Donovan is willing to give Damien the time of day.
Yeah.
Or not Donovan. Donovan's his father. I can't remember the name of his brother.
Whatever his brother's name is. But yeah, it's Donovan seems to be very much like, why are you here? I don't care about you. Only when,
Demetrius, that's it.
Yeah, right. I mean, Lloyd intervenes and everything, but still, it's just like, it seems not to be a good family to live in for Damien.
No,
you feel
it's not a great dynamic.
Yeah, and in the first season, I'm like, man, this kid sucks. And then by the end of this, you kind of pity him. You're like, man, I see where you're coming from. It can't be easy to live with this kind of father. Asshole.
Yeah. I mean, Lloyd definitely sees that for himself, too.
He's diplomatic about it because he can't be, be a complete asshole towards Donovan because, he wants to endear himself. He wants to work himself into becoming a confidant for Desmond at some point. And so that he can be trusted in everything. He also can't be too forward with that because then he will become suspicious. So that's interesting. That's something I, wanted more. And we didn't get too much of that this season. Like more at the beginning and the end, like the actual spy stuff. There's, again, the focus is more on the sitcom part in this show. We have, a bit of spy things here and there in this. But the peak spy moments are in the first couple of episodes with the Bonds, where they recruit Bond. Mm-hmm. And then, when Lloyd actually takes an initiative and makes contact with Damien. And then Desmond appears by chance on the scene. And he takes his chance to also talk to him. And that's, more of some of the more tense moments. Because you see what is going on in Lloyd's head and how he's trying to approach the whole thing. Because he's also a bit surprised by the circumstances.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Agent Nightfall.
Yes. Agent Nightfall, also known as Fiona Frost, who is a fellow spy colleague of Lloyd's with ambitions, John. What are these ambitions, though?
She wants to get into Agent Twilight's space.
Oh, yeah. Oh, does she ever?
And she comes across very cold and composed, but then we see what's going on inside of her head as they plot together to get into this this underground tennis tournament?
What the fuck, John? Come on, like why is this show always peak entertainment when it suddenly turns into a sports anime? First the dodgeball game in season 1. And then the tennis match tournament, and this is hype as hell. Like,
especially when the people they're going up against are cheating and they're still winning.
Yes, like we get like these guys who jack themselves up with hypersteroids and become these muscle monsters who say "kill tennis" like all the time. That's the only thing they're saying, and it's amazing. I would have liked to see the actual match against them because we don't see that. But it's like, that's just kind of dumb shit I want in my anime, dude. Like, especially my sports anime. And then it's like a random one-off episode in this. And like, what? It's also kind of a heist mission thing. And it's super fun. And that was one of the absolute highlights in this season. It was episode 22, I think. And it's great. I loved it. I think it was fantastic. And like, the whole dynamic between Lloyd and Fiona is fun because he can't get a read on her. He thinks she's like super competitive and trying to phase him out of his position and stuff like that, like becoming the new top spy. But
couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And that's how the show portrays it in the beginning. It's like, she's criticizing his approach with the family and everything, and it's like, she said I should have been his wife, not some rando, because she thinks she can't handle it, right? She needs to be there to make the mission a success. But no, actually, she wants to be his wife because she wants to be his wife. Like, she wants to marry the fuck out of that dude.
She just wants to be a wife and a mother to Agent Twilight, and
yeah,
the way Ayane Sakura plays it up, peak.
Yes,
incredible.
It's fantastic. Like,
I love that girl. She goes crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like outside she's like this very cold, frosty demeanor. Of course, her name is Fiona Frost. And then you look inside her head, is like this fucking rainbow fest and skis throwing everywhere. Like, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him so much. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's hilarious. I loved it. And of course, she's like, when she confronts Yor, it's super intense, and she wants to talk Yor out of the marriage arrangement, everything, right? And that's when it's also become tense, because you don't want to see that happening. But also, you start to root for her a bit, because she's like so into it, and she just, that's all she wants, man. She just wants that man. She just wants Lloyd.
And then she tries to have a tennis match with Yor, and Yor's backhand is...
She's an assassin. She's like the world best kind of assassin thing, and she's super strong, and beats her ass. Like, it's great. And also, there was this one thing, like Fiona is communicating with Lloyd secretly by making the sound coming out of their mouths differ from the actual mouth movements. Like, how does that work? Like spy magic?
Was that it, or was it that it, or were they just speaking in code? I was never 100%
no.
clear.
I think the subtitles played like they're moving their mouths in a certain way to convey, and reading lips, right, from each other. But the sound that's coming out of their mouths, like the actual words, are different. So they're talking about super mundane stuff, but actually their lips form spy words, whatever. Like their spy form what they're actually saying to each other. So it was like, how I mean...
That's I guess that's a skill you might be able to learn.
Kind of ventriloquism, I guess, maybe. But I was, well, how the hell do you make that work? Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
But it was cool, and it was nice seeing her and Lloyd going against each other, because, like, you know, Lloyd isn't getting it. He's just super annoyed by her, and I mean, they get closer to each other through the tennis match and everything. But you know, it's super fun. And you think, oh, these guys can't stand each other, and then you get the glimpse into her head, and like, oh, all right.
You see inside her head, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, you know, it's just. Like, and her manipulations get dangerously close to take effect, since Yor is very self-conscious about her skills as a housewife. You know, and only because Anya successfully intervenes, because she can't stand Fiona. Like, she is like Yor is able to gain some self-confidence again, you know, and everything. So,
I mean, I guess you can't blame Anya, because when you see the ideas that Fiona has in her head for raising Anya, it's sort of like,
yeah, that is true. Like, she wouldn't be the best mother. Maybe she would be a good wife, but not a good mother. Like Yor is a cold-hearted assassin, and she's much better mom already than whatever Fiona is cooking up in her head about it.
Because she's capable of turning it on and off. Fiona is not.
No, she is in one mode all the time. I want to fuck that man, and I want to do spy stuff, I guess, whatever. And I'm going to treat the kid like she's a mission.
I mean, not objectively wrong, but even so.
Yes. No, I'm it's good that it's working the way it does. But like I said, you're rooting a bit for her because she's cute, right? She's a fun character, and you kind of like, you get that she's really head over heels for Lloyd. Like, they have been working together for a long time, always been on edge, and, you know, they show some training session with her and everything, and she's just from the past that they had in the past. And it's like, you totally understand how she fell for him, and that it's like, that's her life goal. She wants to be as good as him. She wants to be with him all the time. She wants to be like the Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. She wants to marry that dude, but she also wants to go on spy missions with him. She wants them to be a power couple. She wants to be like the ultimate power couple, like the best spy team ever, but also bond in marriage. And yeah, it's fun, but obviously it can't happen, because the destiny of Lloyd is that he will be, that he will marry Yor eventually, and Anya will be their daughter. That has to happen. That's what the show's building towards. And Fiona realizes that when, I think it's very much at the end of their episode, but Lloyd talks about his new family, and gets this smile that he actually apparently never had. Like, they do this thing where they talk about, hey, your most important weapon is a fake smile and everything, right? And that's what he taught her and everything. But when she sees him talking about his family or looking at them, he puts on a smile she has never seen before on him, and she realizes that it's a genuine smile, that it's not fake, and that deals her the most severe blow. At least that's how I read it. It's like that's when she decides, I can't I can't compete against with that yet, because he is already falling in love with this new family he has gained. Because this smile that I'm seeing here, that's the smile I always wanted to get from him, but so far I've only seen fake ones. I've only seen the smiles that he taught me I need to use as a spy. And this is a new one. There's real warmth in this. And that's kind of like, that kind of kills her and makes her really sad, because that she already, like Yor already has, and Anya already have his heart at this point, that he can have such a smile for them. And that's kind of, it's a sad moment, because you're like, hey, I get it. You wanted this, but they're already way ahead of you. And you probably won't be able to catch up. And they do that very beautifully, I think. That scene is great. Like, it's kind of heart-wrenching, and you feel for her. But it's also like, yeah, that's how it is. That's where it's going to go. And I'm kind of glad that it does, because Lloyd probably needs this, considering what kind of hints are dropped in regards to his childhood and everything, and his mom and whatever in this season. Again, very small breadcrumbs, but there might be some more. And we had seen some stuff in season 1 in regards to how he was brought up and everything. So that you feel like, hey, this is what you want for this man. This happiness, because he probably never thought he could have that, but with these people he might be able to. It's cool. That's some of the more substantial stuff we get in Spy Family, because other than that, it's mostly hijinks, which is fine. I'm not arguing against that, but I also like to have some meat on my anime bones, and there are these occasional drops of substance in here that I really appreciated. I don't know how you felt about it.
I think the one big complaint I have, and I think that's going to be addressed in season 2, is we haven't seen Yor do a lot of assassination stuff. But apparently that's going to, if what I'm reading is right, we will see a little bit more of that when the show comes back.
Yes. And that will, we saw her already have like this mock fight against Lloyd when she was drunk, and they went to the amusement park. And back then I said that's probably a small teaser to what is gonna come, because it's not right now. It's all happy rainbows, aside from everyone putting up a front and playing charade, whatever. But eventually, hers and Lloyd's missions are probably gonna cross, and they're gonna be pitted against each other for some reason, and that's gonna cause some friction, because like, hey, I have this mission, and we need to keep this family charade up for each other's missions to succeed, but we also have to probably work against each other. And that's going to be very intense and exciting if that actually happens. If they want to go there, I would like to see that. I'm not absolutely sure they're going to do that. Maybe they are going to try to keep it on the light side, because that would definitely put a more darker spin to it and a more thrilling spin to it. And I don't know, right now this show just feels like a lighthearted sitcom for most of the time, with some substantial bits here and there sprinkled in between. But will they actually go to some cool shit with the story? That's what I'm wondering. If Yor does some more assassination stuff, and Lloyd maybe finding out, that could be intriguing.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like, I feel like you're right. The crux of the story is going to end up with them eventually finding each other out. So
yeah,
and how that is handled is yet to be seen.
Like, can the family unit they're forming and the good that it does to all these characters, like everyone is quote unquote profiting from this, right? Like everyone is getting love out of this in one way or another, and they are kind of meant for each other. But can these bonds overcome what their jobs are asking of them, like, or will it destroy them eventually? Because right now, the most important thing is, I would still say, is to Lloyd his mission. I don't think he's at the point yet where he would put his family over his mission. That doesn't seem to be the case. He's slowly getting there, and we see hints, like the thing I mentioned before with the smile and everything. He's getting there, but I don't think right now he would make that choice. But eventually, maybe that might happen. And for Yor, I don't have her pinned down, really. Like, she's super invested in Anya and being a good wife to Lloyd and everything. But if it comes down to it, would she decide to abandon her work for that? That's maybe not. We haven't seen that much aside from her fretting over being a good housewife. We haven't seen a big peek into her mind space yet. Like, we haven't really seen anything aside from a background with her brother and everything. We haven't really seen her struggle with, her double life, really, and what that means for her family. That is more Lloyd's thing still. And if that happens in the next season, like you said, because she has to go on missions, on assassin missions, that we might actually get more your time, which I would very, very much appreciate, because I feel like she's still she's fun and she's super sympathetic, but she's still a bit flat right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to compare to Lloyd and where he's going and his emotional inner space and stuff like that.
Like, I still love her because she's a goof.
Absolutely. But I think...
Need more story.
Absolutely. I think from all our three main characters, she's the least developed right now. Like, Anya probably the most, because we spent most of the time with her, especially in season 1. And after that, Lloyd, and then you're a bit far behind. But yeah, maybe next season will be your season. Your season. Yeah, I would like that a lot. I think that would be great. And until then, like, I appreciate all the stuff, all the fun stuff this season does. Like I said, all the fun side character stuff. The great tennis match. Come on, like, give me a whole anime of that. It also looked so goddamn good. Like, Wit and Cloverworks just, just like the dodgeball episode. They just put all the animation power into these weird episodes for some reason. I don't know why they picked those. Maybe it's because those have the most action and they can just throw some wild Sakuga in there. But holy shit, this episode looked good. Like, when they do the tennis match against the twins later on with the motor-powered rackets for some reason.
God, that's so stupid.
Yeah, it's so dumb, but it's great. John is fantastic. Like, I can't. I would watch a whole show where it's just Lloyd and Fiona going on underground tennis matches. I would love that. Like, first we got underground golf in Birdie Wing, and now underground tennis in this, which is at least equally as ridiculous, and I love it. And even though Birdie Wing developed in a direction I didn't like, where it became more standard later on, I can see this becoming a whole sideshow. Like, just do that. It would be super, super fun. Like, and yeah, I would love that. And we have a bunch of other small fun bits here with some of the other side characters. Like, I don't know if I think I didn't make that up, but in the tennis episode, they steal a painting, right, at the end.
Yeah, the whole thing is this heist to get this painting.
Yeah, but Fiona has to take some jewelry, like, from the auction to make it look like she actually decided on that, because they are not allowed to take the painting, and then they steal that.
Yeah, I think that was cause the whole plan kind of went sideways, and they almost ended up getting gassed, and it's oh boy.
Yeah, and she like gets these rings, and like, I just got this ugly ring and whatever, and then later. Sylvia, the handler, is wearing those ugly rings that Nightfall got out of the collection. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And I think I compared it back then. I didn't write it in my show notes, but I'm pretty sure that's one of those neat blink it and you miss it details, because that ring looked exactly the same. I'm sure that Sylvia wasn't wearing that before.
No, I don't think so.
Fiona gave it to her, maybe, and she liked it. It was fun. Maybe they're friends even. I don't know. It's funny.
It could be.
Yeah. And, we also have fun Anya bits here and there. And there's a violent penguin death cartoon for some reason. This just what is happening? Why was that in there? I mean, I guess...
Shut up. Don't worry about it.
The Bond also, is envious of the penguin, and he kind of shreds it and makes Anya super angry. I was really sorry, but he apologizes and she accepts and everything, so everything is good. But I guess maybe that it was there to mirror that, but it was really freakish. Like, what are you letting your kid watch, man? Like,
it's fine. Don't worry about it. Let the TV do the babysitting.
Yes, exactly. And then we have Becky in there, who for some reason has still a crush on Lloyd.
A big-time crush.
But it's really nice to see her and Anya's friendship get stronger, especially since we learned that Becky had trouble making friends because she was a bit of a stuck-up princess, kind of like Damien.
Yeah.
But, just commanding people around and telling them straightforward when she didn't like them, which is fine, I guess, but it also doesn't make it easy to make friends. And Anya kind of just shrugs that attitude off. So it's just like, and then after they got over that hump, they became really good friends. So it's really nice to see these two do clothes shopping, even though it really exhausted Anya, which I can understand. Buying clothes is exhausting.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the cute little side things. And the second season is full of that, because the middle part is kind of just that. It's just like, hey, small side story, and like 2 per episode. And learn more about this side character, learn more about this side character. It's nice fluff. And then you get awesome shit like the tennis match. And then later on, an actual confrontation between Lloyd and Desmond, his main goal and everything. And in the beginning, you get the Bond stuff. And yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of cool, cute, funny shit in this season. Just like there was in the first season. Or core, whatever. That brings me to the question. Which did you like more? Did you like the first one more so far? Or the second one? What worked better for you?
I mean, the first one was definitely just like establishing the world and the characters, right? So I feel like there's a lot more to chew on in this second core. Hate that word. But I think there's a lot more to chew on. I think it made it a lot more interesting and fun to watch. Because we've met everyone. Now we're getting to know everyone. And granted, there's still more to get to know about characters like Yor, like some others. But that it will come in time, because we know there's more of this show coming, because it was a huge success and people love it. And I don't know if I've ever been really super hipster about anime, maybe in my younger days, but now it's like, hey, it's cool that a lot of people are watching and enjoying this, because it means we'll get more of it, and we'll get to see more of these these absolute goofballs doing their thing and getting to know them better and seeing this plot unravel. And just let's keep going. Let's get more of this, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And
if Cloverworks keeps up the good work, and because I say Cloverworks specifically because Wit Studio has their history as of late of jumping ship on shows.
Yeah. I don't even know what they're doing right now. I think they're actually doing a second season of Ranking of Kings. Right. So I think they're doing a second season of they're actually doing the second season of that. So maybe.
Yeah, that's coming next season.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Cloverworks is doing great work on this, probably. It seems like better work than on Promised Neverland season 2. Yeah, but
there was another show they worked on at the same time as this, but they had a lot of outside help too. That was really, really good, and maybe I'll mention it later on. But for now, I'm gonna keep quiet.
But yeah, like you said, there's more. You get to learn more about the characters, but also if you don't get to learn more, like there's a lot of fun side stuff in here as well. Like even if, I feel like the first season was a bit more straightforward when it came to actually showing you where it was going. Like at first it was, hey, recruiting the family, then getting Anya into the school, then getting Anya to get her first Stella, right? That was pretty straightforward. Right. And that's kind of what the most time was spent on. And this it was like more, hey, here are some days in the life of this family. And also, new family member, Bond is being recruited. Then we get we get acquainted with some new spy person, Fiona. And also, at the very end, Lloyd gets closer, actually makes some strides towards his goal of conversing with Desmond. But in between, it felt more like it was positively meandering a bit. Not in a negative way. It's just like, hey, just see how this family, this weird made-up family spends their lives, and also meet all the characters they interact with and see some of their daily struggles and whatever. So that was cool. Like, and at least it was fun. Even if it felt like fluff, it was fun and funny fluff. Like all the stuff we learned. Right. And then we also learned some of the characters. We didn't even mention that Lloyd meets his destined rival, Daybreak.
Oh my god, I forgot!
How could we forget that, dude? I wonder if he will make another appearance, but he's great. So I hope so.
I'm such a good spy. I'm the best spy there ever. No, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Have some introspection, David.
But I like it. I like that, his name is Daybreak and Lloyd is Twilight and Fiona is Nightfall and everything. It's like, that all fits. It works. It works.
What a pattern.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I had a fun time with the second season. Of course, I would really love for the next season for the story to actually go places, some more places, actually do some stuff, like have the plot actually, kick into gear. I enjoy all the sitcom shenanigans, but I feel like this show has so much potential when it comes to where it could take its actual story, that it feels like it would be a bit of a waste if they just keep on focusing on all the, only the sitcom stuff mostly, and only just do like 1, 2, 3 episodes each season where the plot is actually advanced, like they did in this, was like the first and the last episode where actually some shit happens that is related to the main mission, and we're like, I want more spy stuff in my spy family. Thank you.
I gotta imagine they'll move more in that direction.
I wonder. That's a problem. I can't really I haven't read the manga. I don't know.
Or at least try to intersperse it, I should
exactly.
say.
Like, make it more of an even mix. I would really appreciate that. Like, have like two episodes where it's like real spy stuff, then 2 episodes where it's just a sitcom stuff, and then real spy stuff. I mean, they kind of tried to do that this season, I guess, but it also didn't really, like, the sitcom stuff was still the more prominent shit. Like, if you want to count the tennis match as one of the real spy missions, you can do that. But aside from that, you had like 3 in this, or 3 things that actually happen in regards to the main mission, I guess. But yeah, still felt like it was minor in regards to all the other stuff with, hey, Yor needs to learn cooking. Hey, Anya and Bond are doing fun little adventures together. And, hey, Yuri is barfing. And whatever, all that stuff. It's fun, but I feel like we could get a bit more plot in the next season. We'll see what happens. I would be very excited if that's what they will do.
I mean, apparently, I was just reading the movie is going to be an original plot, and no idea whether or not it'll be canon to the story, but, we'll see.
I mean, Shonen Jump movies have been doing that more often in recent times, I feel like. I mean, Dragon Ball does it. My Hero Academia
does it.
Yeah.
It's done it with every one of its movies.
Yeah, but also not that integral, right? I feel like the Dragon Ball movies are more integral if, at least those that have not been adapted into the TV series yet.
I mean, I don't know how true this is or not, but I read that one of the My Hero movies, Horikoshi had kind of planned on a major plot point in one of them, basically being like the end of the story. And it was kind of like, I could see how you could do that, but then in the same instant, they walk it back super hard, and it's like, this is okay, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would just say, if you know, you know.
Okay. Well, I have only seen the first movie so far, the first My Hero Academia movie, because I heard that in the second they used some stuff that was way ahead from the manga. In the manga, and the anime wasn't there yet. I think now they have arrived there. But so I can maybe watch the second movie, and I think the third one is it out? Is it coming? I don't know. Whatever.
World Heroes,
yeah,
right? I'm not sure. Yeah, apparently it's been out for 2 years.
What? Okay, well. Anyway. But yeah, so we'll see what they actually do with the Spy Family movie. Considering there's not that much plot yet, maybe it's just going to be another fun side story, but probably with more spy stuff in it, because I feel like the full movie has to be kind of action heavy. So we'll see. But it probably will be fun, like the rest of the show is. Where can people watch that show, John?
Pretty close to literally anywhere. It's mainly on Crunchyroll, in Hulu, in the U.S., but depending on where you live, it's on Amazon, it's on Bilibili, it's on Disney Plus, it's on yeah. If you live in China, okay. I think in some countries it might be Netflix. I'm just rolling through the live chart list, and it's showing literally every streaming service under the sun. So wherever you live, you will be able to find this show.
Good.
So yeah, the second season, second core of Spy Family was definitely more really good stuff. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to keep watching. I can't wait for more of this show.
Borf. And that is a wrap on the 139th episode of Anime Brain Freeze. All the music in this podcast is from the Double Dragon Neon soundtrack by the amazing Jake Kaufman. Please go to virt.bandcamp.com and check out his awesome work. Our show is available on most of the popular podcast services, but it's always worth visiting animebrainfreeze.com for our review index and more. Leave us comments and questions on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at AnyBrainFreeze, or send an email to animebrainfreeze@gmail.com. We would love to read your feedback. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you had a good time. And please join us again on our next episode. Macht's gut.
So long, everybody.
Next time on Anime Brain Freeze.
Man, working in the services industry isn't all it's made out to be.
And corporate warfare via giant robots.